Hey guys, welcome to PopLink. We are at Black Hand Studio today, and we're in my station, my actual workstation. So excuse if it's a little messy. Just finished tattooing. Been painting all week as well. I had a couple cancellations, but yeah. Here we are today, and of course,
How you doing, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good day. And we got we've heard some casting rumors. If you wanna start there, I think that's a good place to start.
that is a good place to start. So Fantastic Four already has supposedly casted the entire movie, or at least the top four characters, which is Reed Richards, Adam Driver, Sue Storm, Margot Robbie, Johnny Storm. Who is this guy?
I'm honestly never even heard of the guy.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything, which is kind of weird. I'm pretty caught up with this. And the Thing, I always forget his name.
I forget his name.
We're at a blank too. Okay, so
Yeah.
so I've never seen him in anything that I know of.
He's been in things like I said. He was in the show on TNT, the Snowpiercer show. I've seen him on some episodes of Law and Order SVU. I think he's also been on Broadway, if I'm not mistaken. So he's pretty well rounded.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the Thing seems like he's casted good. I mean, I've never seen him act, and the truth of the matter is we don't really know how he's going to be portrayed anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
the Thing is cool. Ben Grimm is. I don't want to say he's a two-dimensional character, but he's not going to be extremely hard to cast, especially if you do, if you can emote emotion and how it's going to be played out on screen through a CGI screen or CGI voice acting thing, because he's going to be mostly CGI.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
As for Sue Storm, I don't know, man. It's not my thing. I can't see Margot Robbie as anything else but Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and especially now seeing the trailers for her in the Barbie movie as well, that's not really helping sell her case as Sue Storm.
No, I don't see that at all. Then again, seeing is believing. Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew he was going to do something as great as he did, and here we are. And vice versa, we all thought Jared Leto was going to be okay,
Yes,
and he turned out to
exactly.
be the worst Joker
Yeah,
on screen until Zack Snyder came back, reworked him, put him into the Justice League movie, Snyder Cut, as the post-apocalypse dark side Joker, which was fantastic. I love that interaction between Ben Affleck's Batman and him. Um, Adam Driver, man, I don't know. He's grown on me since the news broke,
mm-hmm.
and I've been diehard like I don't like him, but he's grown on me. I don't know. It's weird. Every time I see him more and more as Reed, but I'm not sold yet.
No, me neither. And it's like I understand what you're saying because you keep seeing, these images of him in the suit and and how he could look, but it's gonna be hard, especially, and we've said this multiple times, when you give us somebody like Krasinski, who, for all intents and purposes, was and is Mr. Fantastic, and he's the Mr. Fantastic that we wanted, and then finally got, and you're gonna give us a small taste and then take it away, and then you insert Adam Driver, who, like I said, phenomenal actor. I love his work, but the nuances of playing a character like Reed Richards, the smartest man in the Marvel Universe, and what comes with how his brain works and his mannerisms. Can Adam Driver pull that off? I'm not doubting his talent, but I just don't. But sometimes when you're not meant for a character, you're just not meant for a character.
I'll tell you what. They said that Reed Richards was going to be Daniel Craig originally,
Mm-hmm.
but there was like not casting, but shooting dilemmas and like delays in the scheduling, and Multiverse of Madness got delayed. I don't know how many months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, a year, I believe. Right, almost a year from the original release date because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
pushed back a bunch of the filming because of that. Plus, they switched up WandaVision. WandaVision was supposed to come out after Multiverse of Madness, so they changed everything. They had to do a bunch of rewrites.
reshoots.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think Daniel Craig could have killed it.
I think I could see that.
I could see Daniel Craig doing that, but I don't see Adam Driver doing it.
Mm-mm.
It's very weird. I just can't see it.
Especially like, and it's no fault of my own, but I just see it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I just see him as Victor Von Doom. Like that's just.
And you know what? It's because he played a Sith.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he played Kylo Ren. And the truth of the matter is, you can't even say he was a Sith though, because he was a Sith apprentice essentially.
Yeah, he wasn't a full.
So he wasn't a full Sith. But yeah, whatever. Because he played Kylo Ren, he played him poorly. But then again, that's a new character. You can't see how he's gonna be played out until he plays out. But regardless of the fact, him being Kylo Ren solidified for me a masked character that can have a temper tantrum, be a master tacticianer, and be completely lost in his own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Which all equate to a extremely smart villain that can be a master tacticianer, leader of a small country.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know, I could see that, but I just can't see Reed Richards. He's grown on me, yes, but he's not definitive to me, so.
No.
But, okay, so, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're still on the topic of movies, John Wick 4, we all thought was going to be the last John Wick. Not the last John Wick.
Not the last John Wick.
No, it turns out that, hey, guess what? John Wick 5 is in early development. So I didn't see that coming. Yeah, of course we all saw it coming.
Especially the way it ended.
If you saw the way it ended.
Yeah.
It was a... Okay, if you've seen The Dark Knight Rises, then you have seen... Wow, I lost my words here. Dark Knight Rises. If you've seen that movie, you know how that ends. If you know how that ends, it's a very big nod, if you haven't seen the movie, to how John Wick ends. It's ominous. There's a definitive but not definitive ending.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is that with Dark Knight Rises is you see Bruce Wayne in a cafeteria in France with Alfred going ahead and going, oh, good, you hooked up with Selena Kyle. You have your life set. You're good. You've made a life for yourself. You don't see that with John Wick 4.
Mm-hmm.
You see... A spoiler alert. Fast forward 30 seconds, if you don't want to hear this. You see John Wick supposedly die, no body, graveyard scene, everybody pays their respects, whoever lives, I'm not going to give away who dies, pay their respects, and then the dog look up like, hey, I know you, but John Wick's nowhere to be seen. John Wick's not dead.
No, and that's just a movie trope, unless you see a body. Unless you see it happen.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Exactly. No body, no death. Sorry, it just doesn't play that way. I do want to see a spin-off with Kane.
Yes.
I don't care. I just want to see that movie. I want to see him before he was blind.
Yeah.
I want to see, because the whole thing was Kane gave up his eyes to the High Table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to the High Table, but essentially to everybody, to the League of Assassins. But he gave up his eyes and his sight to come back into the fold after he was also out successfully, just like John Wick. Something brought him back in. Nobody knows what it was. But it's alluded that something was taken in the same fashion and he was brought in. Or he came back in.
Mm-hmm.
Or dragged back in. As they usually are. Which is funny, because I've been seeing John Wick, all 4 movies, on loop since I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like, I'm not obsessed with the movies, but I watch them for educational purposes, for this exactly, and to catch certain things. I do have a lot of movies, actually. A lot of shows, too. And what you see with John Wick is every movie, his dialogue shortens.
Mm-hmm.
Until the last one where I think he had 328 words, or like not even like 100 and something words actually, throughout the entire film.
Yeah, it was almost a 3-hour film, and he has like what, maybe 30 minutes of dialogue throughout the whole movie.
Not even. That's being generous.
Yeah.
So you have that. Then you have the first movie. He's actually a lot more talkative. The second movie, which he's almost as talkative. Third movie, he starts dumbing down the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth movie, he's John Wick again. So I think this is a coming of age thing, where it's like, not coming of age, but find yourself again thing. He lost his way because he got pulled out of the fold, or rather, he pulled himself out of the fold to become a family man, essentially.
Yep.
Family gets torn away. He has no reason to be a nice guy anymore. He has no reason to go ahead and be human anymore. His only reason is dead. As the movies progress, you see that shifting more and more. He becomes more animalistic, more crazier with his kills, less humane, and more brutal. I mean, for God's sake, let's just put it in perspective. John Wick 3, because I'm not going to go into too much on John Wick 4. John Wick 3, he kills people with horses. Like, he sets it up so the horses kick him in the face and crack their skull. And murk him. Like, then there's the pencil scene.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's
the pencil scene, which was talked about in the first movie, done in the second movie, and touched base upon again in the third movie.
Oh, I love the scene with him and Common when he leaves him on the train.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah. Dude. Common's just sitting there.
The more and more you see it, he spared a lot of people in the first movie. He spared a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, because he wasn't like fully back yet.
He wasn't fully back yet. Then in the second movie, he spared less people. The third movie,
he's back by the end.
He's almost back by the end. In the fourth movie,
he's there the whole time.
He's there.
He's there.
He's a master tactician again. And I'm using that word a lot in this podcast today. He's a master tactician. He's going ahead and saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to use you as a pawn. I might need you in the future. We're friends now. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes ahead and sets up all these people to help him out in the future. And I'm not going to get to it, but there's some good setups.
I mean, you just see a man doing whatever he has to do.
Yeah.
Like you said, you see a man who has lost essentially everything. He has no reason to live anymore. Like I said, we're not going to touch too much on the fourth movie for whoever hasn't seen it, but we're going to talk about the third movie. Third movie's out. But by the end of the third movie, you see, like, he only has one thing on his mind. There's only one thing he cares about. There's only one thing left that keeps him living. That's the high table.
Yep.
That's the end all, be all, the end, the means to an end is the high table. And then, in the fourth movie, you see it, and it's, like you said, John Wick is back.
Yeah.
The John Wick that we see progressively throughout the movies. And
the Baba Yaga.
Yeah, exactly. The Baba Yaga, yeah.
What is it, the Boogeyman? No, he's not exactly the Boogeyman. He's the one you call when you want to kill
the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. Well, there's an explicit content in there. But yeah, we gotta kill the Boogeyman, And you see exactly that in the final film. He is the cold-blooded, super calculated killer that he's been building up to again since the first movie.
And I love how they sprinkle it throughout little pieces throughout all the movies.
My biggest thing is how the hell are you going to bring it back? How do you bring it back? Again,
I mean,
I don't want to spoil it. We'll leave this for another podcast. Probably closer to when the movie starts releasing.
Yeah.
In about 2 years or so. We'll come back to this again. Sometime in that time frame. But, yeah, I mean, I would say spin-offs, man. Spin-offs.
I agree.
There's the Ballerina.
The Continental. That's supposed to be a show, right?
It's supposed to be a show on Paramount Plus.
Oh, it's on Paramount. I thought it was on HBO.
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus.
Okay.
And then you're going to have probably, and I hope it happens, a spin-off of Kane. So, I don't know.
I would like to see Kane as a series. I wouldn't mind it as a movie, but I think as a series,
I would like to see that
to flesh out that character.
But I'll tell you why it wouldn't work. Donnie Yen is not a series actor.
You're right.
Donnie Yen is a movie. Let's get it done in one shot. Maybe quad shots, 4 movies.
If you're telling the story of how he got to the point where he's at, do you have to use Donnie Yen?
I mean, it only makes sense. In my opinion. You can't just unless it's 30 years in the past.
I wouldn't mind seeing that actually.
But then who's the martial artist you would get?
That's the
What
question.
actor do you get? Who matches Donnie Yen's spirit in film. Donnie Yen's an animal. Like he's just a beast. Say what you want to say about him. Say what you want to say about his political views. Say whatever you want. Donnie Yen as an actor is not touchable. Like he's untouchable.
What about the actor who played Shang-Chi? Was it? I don't want to butcher.
I forgot his name. But yeah, he's cool. Shit, if they would have brought him in as a assassin and then played him as a younger one, maybe have him as Kane originally, maybe. But still, I think Donnie Yen takes him.
Yeah.
It's a really
you made a good point. If it's Donnie Yen, then yeah, it probably has to be a movie. And if you go a series, then you're telling
do a trilogy.
Ooh.
Do another trilogy, or do the double movie feature, like maybe the sequel, movie and then the sequel, because you already have kind of his origin, but not really origin with John Wick 4. Do that.
And there's also more story to tell with the way that the end credit scene left off.
Yeah, because he has a daughter. That's no big surprise. Like, that's why he was brought in. The motivations behind everything are where everything gets tricky, but I'm not going to get into that because you need to see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you could do that too. You could definitely do that. So yeah. I say make Kane a series. I mean, a movie. Or a series of movies. A trilogy, a movie, then a sequel, whatever the case may be.
See, yeah, I like how in each of the movies, too, we get the taste of different continentals.
That too. Continental Japan was awesome.
Dude, that's probably my favorite one.
That one in New York.
Yeah, New York is just, it's New York. But they were savage in that Japanese one.
Bro, when he goes, John, do me a professional courtesy. Here, you can go here. Just take out as many as you can on the way out. And John literally beats them to death. Because we're not going to demonetize. To death with nunchucks.
Yes.
Then takes him out with whatever pistol he has on hand. Then he goes back to nunchucks. Then he's like, oh, well, back to pistol. Blade. Nunchucks. Pistol, nunchucks, all the way through. Bare hands. Blade. Gun. Nunchucks. Out. Like, that's how it was. It was like, whoa.
Just like that.
Whereas in
Just
Kane,
like that.
Kane was like, I have a staff. It's a seeing staff. Or is it, what, I forget what they're called.
What, like canes or...
Well, it's a cane. It's a cane. There you go, cane.
Yeah.
You know, I have a cane, which I use to see my way through. And then, I don't know if you noticed in the kitchen, he didn't want to take out anybody. Because those were all his friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he's beating them all up with this cane. And all his shots are non-lethal for the most part. He's just taking them all out. But we're going to replace that word with another one in post. But anyway, he takes out a bunch of them. He unalives them. We're just going to use that for now. So we're going to blurp that out. You're going to go ahead and hear me say that, and then we're going to go back to this word. He unalives a bunch of people. But for the most part, he doesn't. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to knock you out with this cane.
Mm-hmm.
And it isn't until he goes against the manager of the Continental Japan that he pokes him and unalives him. Severely. And he unalives him. And that's it. And he sets up the daughter with Akira's her name. With, hey, I know you want revenge. I'll be waiting.
Come find me.
Here's the thing, though. I just said that, and my brain just went, whoa. What if he knew that she was going to come after him?
He had to have.
In that, I'm not going to say it, but there's something that gives that, what I just said as a setup away. What if he already knew? Because he knew everything.
Mm-hmm. He had great foresight about basically everything. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Damn. Well.
Like I said.
That's great directorial.
We need the series. We need the movie.
Yeah.
Get started on that.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to go to another action aspect. Deadpool 3,
Mm-hmm.
the writer's strikes,
Yes.
and the contractual agreements that put us in a position where this might be one of two things is going to happen. Either it was so geniusly written that there is no problem whatsoever with that script, and Ryan Reynolds can actually play this whole character again without an issue,
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
the latter, which is this is going to be the worst Deadpool movie there is.
yeah, I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to be very black and white.
It's very cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
They already said it's going to be Wolverine centered, which already puts a bad taste in my mouth. Not because I don't want to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again. Not because I don't want to see Wolverine and Big Screen again. But because how are you going to make a Deadpool film and make it another Wolverine movie? You're making all the mistakes again of X-Men. Where X-Men was never about X-Men.
Mm-hmm. X-Men was about
Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Except for the last trilogy, which was First Class, Days of Futures Past, and Apocalypse. And Phoenix, the new Phoenix saga.
Dark Phoenix saga.
But the original X-Men was all about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. So much so that there was 3 spin-off movies from it.
Because there was Origins.
The Origins.
The Wolverine. And Logan.
And he's been playing the character for almost 20 years. Well, now it's going to be well over 20 years, actually.
Yeah, now.
It's going to be 24 years. 23 years. Whenever this movie comes out. I think it's 2024. 24 years. So, I mean... Geez, that's a quarter. Like, almost a quarter century. He's been playing this character. And you're going to go ahead and give him another movie where Ryan Reynolds is the star. Deadpool is the star. Everybody wants to see a Deadpool film. And you kind of have, like, Marvel going, yeah, that's nice, but let's go ahead and sprinkle some Wolverine in that. Oh, but that Wolverine we just sprayed into that sauce, into that little soup, that's ghost pepper. Good luck with that.
Enjoy.
I don't know. And the fact that he can't go ahead and improv like he normally does.
Yeah, that has me...
That's what worries me.
That has me more worried than anything. Especially because that's what the character is. I mean, that's what Deadpool Wade Wilson is. He's very impromptu. He's very fly off the handle. You never know what he's going to say. You never know what wisecrack he's going to make. So, and that's why Ryan Reynolds is perfect for the character. There's not many characters where you can say that person was meant to play that character. Ryan Reynolds is one of those people. Ryan Reynolds was meant to play Deadpool. For all intents and purposes, he is Deadpool. And if you're going to basically...
He's the reason this movie exists.
Exactly. And if you're essentially going to X-Men or Wolverine Origins it and take away some of what makes him him by taking away the ad-libs, that's going to hurt the movie. It's going to hurt the character.
There's no Merc with the mouth anymore. It's just a Merc.
Who has wisecracks occasionally.
Occasionally that were written by people doing a script.
And
I mean, look, that sounded kind of insensitive towards the writers. I have no doubt that the writers are doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you're taking away the one thing that makes Ryan Reynolds a good actor is his ad-lib, comedic on the fly acting. The writer strikes. By the way, the writer strikes completely agree with them. They need to get paid more. They need more breaks. They need all these things that they're asking for.
Agreed.
And I'm not taking away from that in any way, shape, or form. It just sucks. Not the timing or anything. It just sucks that there's this whole predicament happening at the same time as everything else is happening. But yeah, give the writers what they want, and give the actors too. I mean, the actors are also part of this. Once the whole vote and everything goes through.
I mean, you saw Elizabeth Olsen's comments about new people coming in signing long-term deals.
Yeah.
With the MCU.
Give it a couple movies. Damn, that sucks. Like, you have Elizabeth Olsen, which is Scarlet Witch going, well, you know what? I know I'm a big part of this franchise, but be a little wary.
Yeah.
Damn. You know?
Like, it kind of makes you wonder, like, what else they got going on behind the curtain.
Yeah. And then superhero fatigue is happening as we speak. Whole Phase 4. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but like a good percentage of, say, Phase 4.
I'd say like 80% of Phase 4.
You can just throw it in the garbage.
And Phase 5 is not off to a hot start. I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet. I do hope to see it before it leaves theaters. But I did see Ant-Man, and it's on Disney+. And...
Well, Guardians is supposedly the saving grace, and it was supposed to be the start to Phase 4. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, it's supposed to start Phase 4?
It was supposed to start Phase 4. This was the Ant-Man? I'm sorry. It was supposed to be Guardians, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Those were the first 3 movies that were supposed to come out during Phase 4. Guardians got pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
Multiverse was supposed to come out before Spider-Man.
Yes.
It came out after.
Because originally it was supposed to come out... Well, yeah. No, actually that was after.
It came out after.
They moved it again. Yeah.
And Spider-Man was supposed to be towards the middle of Phase 4. So it's like... Everything got messed up. I mean, given it was partially due to COVID.
Right.
Actually, it was mostly due to COVID.
It was mostly due to COVID, yeah.
And lockdowns, restrictions, and all that stuff. So, yeah, it was a very weird scenario where everything got shifted out, and now Marvel's in a mad dash to go ahead and try to correct everything. Whereas in DC, it has a very golden ticket right now, very good golden ticket, where they go, hey, we have a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
There was a mistake that was made, but
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah, DC has a whole thing going on right now where it's like, hey, there's no lockdowns. We don't have anything. We have a fresh start. Well, let's get it going. And then they have the massive good fortune of having James Gunn, which has been in Marvel through the success and has the most successful trilogy.
Or one of.
I would say that it's the most successful. I mean, Captain America is my favorite.
I was going to say Captain America is solid.
But it has the most successful in critics' reviews, as well as, just fans right now, saying that Guardians of the Galaxy is the perfect trilogy in Marvel. I've heard that a lot. In news reports, all that stuff.
I don't doubt it.
So, you have James Gunn, which literally set up the perfect trilogy in Marvel, going, I know what works now. Deuces. What up, DC? Warner Brothers, let's go.
And
I left the mouse.
And he's got all the toys.
He has all the toys. And he had all the budgets. Supposedly, they would have a director for Batman Brave and Bold.
I've seen that. And they're already casting Superman Legacy.
They're casting Superman Legacy, which that cast looks pretty cool.
I do. Especially the Lex Luthor. I like that casting.
Yeah, Lex Luthor looks cool.
Yeah, the supposed
Superman looks cool, too. If that is the true casting. Now, they say they have a director for Brave and the Bold. Now, could it be they have directors? I don't know. The Russo brothers did say that they want to direct that movie.
And it's another Marvel connection.
And they have another perfect run. I wouldn't say perfect run, but they have a very good run with Marvel. And films in general. If you haven't seen The Gray Man on Netflix...
Oh, yeah.
Really good movie.
Yeah. Chris Evans.
Really good villain. Really good villain. Like, you love to hate him and you hate to love him. It's crazy.
He plays a good D-bag.
Yeah. But, yeah, exactly. But the Russo brothers, if they take over... and they do this movie, forget about it. That probably will be the best Batman film.
I think...
Matt Reeves is doing great.
And even before all that, I think Marvel needs to be worried about this Flash movie coming out.
Yeah.
Because I have heard it is one of the best superhero movies
of all time.
Of all time. The movie itself is fantastic. And I can only imagine what Michael Keaton... coming back has done with this rendition of The Dark Knight. And then speaking of Dark Knight, you also have Ben Affleck in there. Ooh, I mean, and we're getting one of the best comic book story arcs on film. And I think we're gonna get a lot of that. I mean, even look what James Gunn teased before he even came out with the chapters. He teased,
Gods and Monsters and all that stuff.
Yeah, before he teased Gods and Monsters, he teased a picture of the Alex Ross Kingdom Come.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, and if anybody hasn't read Kingdom Come, awesome.
One of the best pieces of comic book literature ever.
And stylistically, the visuals is breathtaking. But I mean, he teased Kingdom Come, and that's almost like I'd consider that these days like a deep cut.
Yeah.
So
well, if you tease Kingdom Come, you have to tease Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tease the bunch of these like major story arcs. You know, Brave and the Bold's one of them, obviously, because that's a great run of Batman.
Yeah. And I love that we're getting Damian Wayne Robin. Like that's a Robin.
That's a bold move.
That's a Robin with some nuance.
Yeah, and that's a bold move because you also have the aspect of we're gonna have a more established Bat family, which is what they want now. They want an established Bat family, and then lead into backstories.
Yeah,
bro. What can you say about that? You know what I mean? But that about wraps up what we have, right? For the week?
For the week, yeah.
Now, we will be filming again. We fell off of schedule 1 week because of a series of unfortunate events. Scheduling, and I think one of us got sick. The other one, you had class.
Mm-hmm.
School started again for you.
Yep.
I got booked out heavy. And then Rob, which is another part of this now, was also booked out with work.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob will be joining us again soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be Wednesday of this week or next week's Wednesday as well. We film every Wednesday. We're filming tonight actually on this different day. But yeah, what we're doing is he's going to be joining us in the near future. We also have a couple of guests
lined up,
which as of right now confirmed, but we don't know the dates just yet, is Quinn Shockley. We have Pablo Saavedra, which works at Black Hand with me as well as Quinn. We have Rob, which is becoming stable as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kenny in the works. Kenny Calderon. He's going to be joining us soon too. So I mean, we have a lot of cool people joining in, and maybe there's going to be a whole room of us once sitting down at a round table or something and going over everything. But no promises just yet. We're just trying to work it out.
It's all coming together.
So until next time, we'll see you guys next Monday. And this Monday, you'll be seeing this one. So take it easy, guys.
Later, guys.